Imagine walking into a room. Sitting right in the middle of a desk is a giant, glowing red button with a sign that says, "Do not press." What is the immediate, overwhelming urge you feel? You want to press it. Psychologists call this phenomenon psychological reactance. It is an intense, primal motivation to restore a sense of freedom the moment your access to something is restricted. Most people taking sales calls approach the conversation completely backward. They spend all their time trying to convince the prospect to buy, instead of making the prospect prove they are actually a good fit. This exact reverse psychology framework is what top professionals use to land million-dollar contracts with major tech brands and companies like Amazon. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to build a customized 5-step sales script that forces high-quality clients to chase you. Before we start, there are 3 prerequisites. You need a clearly defined service, genuine confidence built from past wins, and the actual willingness to turn bad clients away. Shifting from a seller to a selective expert generates inbound demand by changing how a prospect values your time. Let's build your script. This timeline represents the anatomy of a perfect sales call. Step 1 is the Gatekeeper Open, which takes place in the crucial first 60 seconds of the conversation. Think of yourself as the person holding the velvet rope at an exclusive venue. Your job is to determine who gets access, not to ask the person outside if they'll let you in. You set this tone immediately with a simple script template. Say, "Before we dive in, I want to make sure we're a good fit. I am selective about who I work with because..." Brief pause. Insert your specific reasoning here. Does that make sense? The moment you imply there is a qualification process they might not pass, the prospect's internal monologue changes. They stop asking themselves, "Should I buy?" and start asking, "Am I good enough?" Setting this frame right away neutralizes their defensive sales resistance. It forces them to engage entirely on your terms. Moving along our call timeline to minutes 2 through 5, we reach step 2, the criteria reveal. Here you create a fork in the road by defining 2 distinct paths a prospect could fall into. Path 1 represents the exact traits of your ideal client. Path 2 represents the traits of a bad client who simply won't succeed. Present these paths naturally by saying, "This approach works best for people who," and list your Path 1 traits. Then add, "People who," list the Path 2 traits, followed by, "usually don't see results." Human nature compels the prospect to actively align themselves with the successful group. They will quickly vocalize exactly why they possess those positive Path 1 traits. By establishing these strict criteria, you transform the prospect into an applicant. They are now actively pitching themselves to you. As the timeline reaches the 5 to 10 minute mark, it's time for step 3, the mirror close. This is where most people make a critical mistake I call the pitch panic. They reach the finish line and revert to a needy question like, "So would you like to move forward?" Instead, use the mirror close. Validate them first, then hand the decision back. "I think you'd be a great fit. The real question is, do you feel this is the right fit for what you're trying to accomplish?" Validating them removes the pressure of feeling tested, but by asking them to decide, you force them to commit to their own identity as someone who takes action. Social psychology research out of Stanford University demonstrates that humans assign significantly higher value to things they have to work and qualify for. Handing them the ultimate choice completely flips the power dynamic. They will close themselves to avoid contradicting their own stated goals. Step 4 is the final filter, centered on a 4-word phrase that improves compliance rates across dozens of studies. That phrase is, "But you are free." Explicitly offering an exit actually increases a person's willingness to say yes. Acknowledging someone's complete autonomy to walk away eliminates their defensive resistance. If a prospect hesitates, you pull back. Say, "If you need more time, you are completely free to take it. I'd rather you be absolutely sure than rush." Step 5 is the language mirror. You execute this continuously throughout the entire call. Never invent traits for the client. Instead, listen closely and repeat their own stated problems and desires back to them as positive identity traits. For example, if a client complains, "I've dealt with this for months," you mirror that by saying, "So you're past the research phase and ready to actually solve this." Proving you deeply understand their specific vocabulary creates subconscious alignment. It accelerates trust faster than any pitch deck ever could. Those are the 5 steps of the Gatekeeper framework: the open, the criteria paths, the mirror close, the pullback, and active language mirroring. To execute this correctly, you must practice these scripts out loud until they sound entirely conversational. Stumbling makes the qualification process feel like a performance, which destroys your authority. You also need to avoid using fake scarcity, like pretending spots are limited. Modern prospects easily detect manipulation. Your selectivity must be genuine. Balance your authority. Project professional confidence focused on getting results, rather than slipping into arrogant condescension. This framework changes the client dynamic. Instead of pitching for work, you use selectivity to ensure every new project meets your specific standards.